This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, good morning all. So welcome to DevOps training. So as part of DevOps training, today we will see like what is DevOps, why DevOps came into picture, what are the different set of tools that are required in order to fulfill the DevOps process. So first of all, before going to discuss about DevOps, first we should know what will happen in the industry to develop any software product. So definitely they have to follow one of the software development life cycle in order to develop any product in a software product. So in order to explain that one, so first of all, let me take one of the traditional software development life cycle called waterfall model. Of course, already you people are already having some idea about SDLC, like waterfall model. Okay. So first we will see about waterfall model. What will happen in this case waterfall model? So in order to explain this waterfall model, let us assume we are the employees of a company like TCS. We are working for TCS company, let us assume. So definitely TCS is a service-based company. It can have some clients. Whatever, let me take something like Citibank or something, whatever. As of now, where the employees of TCS client is Citibank. That means actually we have to work for the Citibank project from TCS, and we have to work for Citibank sub project. So actually, this Citibank people, they want to have 20 features or 20 modules in their project. They want to implement a project or any software product with 20 features or 20 modules in their project. So definitely they will interact with the TCS in order to develop the project, because this is Citibank normally they will take help from software development companies like TCS. So then what we have to do? So according to waterfall model, in order to complete these 20 features, we have to follow some set of steps. So what are those steps? We will see now. So I can say the first step is like a requirement analysis. Requirement analysis. So according to this requirement analysis, what do we have to do from TCS channel? So of course, in the IT industry, there are some people called architects. There are some people called architects or some technical leads. So from TCS end, these architects or technical leads will interact with the Citibank to gather what are the requirements in order to fulfill their entire project. Okay. So they will gather all the requirements. That is called a requirement analysis step. Once if they have all the requirements, in the next step, the next step is like a design step. In the next step, this is called design step. Then what they will do in this step? Of course, the same people means like technical leads or architects. They are responsible for creating a high level design document. This is called high level design document in the form of SRS, system requirement specification. They will prepare a high level design document. Already they have gathered requirements in the first step. Now they will prepare a high level design document. Okay, this is the design step. Once if they have prepared a high level design document, in the next step, of course, the next step is called coding or implementation. Coding or implementation. So in this step, so there are some people like developers. The people like developers will be there in the IT industry. So now developers came into picture. They will create or they will write some code. Of course, if they want to implement the project by using Java, they will write Java code. If they want to implement the project by using .NET, they will write .NET code. If they want to implement by using Python, they will write Python code. Whatever, depend upon the language they are going to use. They will write the project code. That is called coding step. So once if they have written code for all 20 modules, then in the next step, the next step is actually testing. The next step is called testing. So now actual testers came into picture now. Testers means like QA team. They will call QA team, quality assurance testing team, like testing team only. They are testing team. Now this testing people, they will test the code, whether the whatever the code written by developers. Now testing testers, they will check whether the code is working fine or not. They will give different varieties of inputs and they will try to get output. In all the cases, they have to get the correct output. That is what testers job. Okay. Once if they are tested successfully, once assume the testing is successful, then in the next step, so of course the next step is called deployment. In deployment means already tested the code, it is working fine. Now we will deploy it. So deployment means so once you deploy, the customers or the end users of the product can able to access it. That is called deployment. Now customers are able to access the application. Of course, whatever the code we have written, if you keep it with us only, there is no use, right? So how to release it to market so that we can have some business. That is what happened after deployment. So then who will do deployment? So in IT, there are some people called middleware admin people. Middleware admin people is there. Middleware admin. There are some people like middleware admin guys. They are responsible to deploy the application into real time so that customers can able to access what the application they have deployed. That's it. Of course, now assume customers are able to access application. Definitely after some days, who knows, something will happen for the application so that customers cannot able to access the application. Then what you have to do? So for that purpose only, there will be some agreement in between this TCS and Citibank. So like, of course, of course, if you purchase any product, there will some, I can say like warranty again, like the same manner in IT industry also, we have to support for them at least for like 1 year through 3 years or 5 years, whatever. Based on the agreement, we have support for them for 3 to 5 years. So that is called actually maintenance step. Maintenance step. So there are some supporting people will be there. There are some supporting team will be there. They are responsible to support them. if in between they face any issues, they will contact this maintenance team. They will try to resolve this one. So this is what the method we have to follow in case of waterfall model in order to create and deploy the application with the 20 features. So these steps are called here phases. Phase. So why it is called phase? I will tell you. Phases. This is one step we call phase. This is also a phase. This is also a phase. All are phases only. 6 phases. Why they are called phases? So the output of one step is directly given as input to another step. That's why they are called phases. Of course, we have to follow them in sequence. We have to follow all these 6 steps in sequence without skipping anything. At the same time, the output of one step is directly given input to the next step. That's why they're called phases. So totally, according to waterfall model, you have to follow all these 6 phases. Okay. Then, of course, this is the waterfall model, traditional model. Nowadays, nobody is going to use this one. Why? What are the reasons? So now we'll try to find some limitations of this waterfall model. What are the limitations? We will see now. Suppose, assume today TCS people want to implement these 20 features for Citibank today itself. I am a tester. Assume we are testers. From first day onwards, we have to work on project. No, right? Why? Because first of all, these architects are team leads, technical leads. They have to gather requirements for all 20 features. It will take some time. The next step, the same people, they have to they have to understand, and they have to prepare high-level data document. Definitely, it may take some other time. Some other time is like 1 week or 10 days, whatever. So once if they have prepared high-level data document, in the next step, developers have to write code for all 20 features. It may take some other time. Some other time is like 10 days, 20 days, whatever. Okay. Now, as a tester, we have to work on the project. That means we are sitting idly for so many days. Of course, if you are a deployment guy, like a middle admin, you have to wait for some other days also. It is not good, right? So definitely, you are not going to sit idly for some time. For some time means I have to wait for all completion of all the phases, right? That means the first limitation of this waterfall model is resource utilization. Resource means employees only. Utilization is very poor. Resource utilization very poor. That means during this step or during this phase, only a specific number of people, only specified persons are involving. Others are not involving. That's why resource utilization is very poor in case of waterfall model. Then one more limitation I want to explain you. So of course, deployment. Of course, if you do any deployment, then only customers or vendors can able to access the application. What are the application we have created? If you deploy the application, then only customers can able to access the application. Then only we can have some business. Now you can see in this waterfall model, deployment is the 5th phase. I can say 5th phase. Of course, we have only one deployment in this one. So that means deployment frequency is very less. Deployment happens only after completion of all phases, right? After completion of these first 4 phases, only deployment will happen. I can say like deployment happens around, of course, only once within 4 to 5 months. That means after 4 to 5 months only, customers are able to access these 20 features what we have developed. This is also one of the drawback. So it is taking time. Okay, deployment happens only once. Deployment happens only once for the entire project. Only once for the entire project. Like I can say, like after 3 to 4 months. After 3 to 4 months. So now we have to see for alternatives. Why? Because we are not utilizing the employees properly. At the same time, as deployment frequency is very less, I can say like only once for the entire project. So after completion of 3 to 4 months only, our project can release it to market so that from the time onwards we can have some business. Now our requirement is like this. We have to properly utilize the employees and we have to deploy at least, of course, 20 fields are deploying at a time. Now I have to improve the, or I have to increase the deployment frequency also. Okay. So in order to resolve those two limitations, later the IT people, of course, IT industry, they have migrated from traditional waterfall model to some other technology. Of course, not only waterfall model, we can have something like V model, spiral model, something like RAID model, like a Bing Bang model, so many things, fish model, so many things are there. There are so many limitations with them. Now we will use one more methodology. The methodology is called Agile methodology. Agile. This is very important. Agile methodology. So what is Agile methodology? Of course, nowadays nobody is going to use waterfall model. Later, companies they have shifted to use a methodology called Agile. Agile methodology. Now we'll say about Agile methodology. So I will take same example. I will take same example called like same example means we are working for the company called TCS. Our client is Citibank. Our client is Citibank. Not only Citibank, you can take IRCTC or something like APS, whatever you can take, or HSBC, whatever. The same example I am taking. That means we are working with TCS. Our client is Citibank. So same thing I will take like Citibank. So in their project, they wanted to have 20 features or 20 modules. Suppose you can take, they can have something like 50 or 40, whatever number of features, that is different. I am taking some example. We'll assume some 20 features. For experience purpose, I'm taking 20 features only. Okay. Now what we will do in case of Agile methodology? Of course, this Agile methodology is going to follow a model called Scrum model. Scrum model. Agile methodology internally follows a model called Scrum model. According to Scrum model, according to Scrum. This term is very important. Scrum. Normally in IT, so daily we'll have some like Scrum calls will be there. Okay, Scrum call, like stand-up call, whatever. Of course, daily means stand-up call. Scrum means like within 2 weeks we'll have one Scrum call. You will see those things later. So Scrum, SRM Scrum. So according to Scrum model, of course, earlier we have implemented 20 features at a time. At a time, we have considered all of them. But in this case of Agile methodology, according to Scrum model, we won't take all 20 at a time. First of all, the customer, of course, Citibank requires 20 features. So now we have to identify what are the important features. among 20. We have to identify them according to some priorities. We have to assign some priorities based on the importance of that future. Okay. So now, of course, earlier we have called the step as a phase, right? In this case, we'll call it as a sprint. Sprint is one term. Sprint means like I can say like a time duration only. Time duration only. Sprint means some time duration only. So it will be like 2 to 3 weeks. Normally, in IT industry, it will be like 2 to 3 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks only. 2 to 3 weeks means like 10 days or 15 days only. Of course, 1 week means 5 days only, right? That's why 10 or 15 days. So it means within 10 to 15 days, we have to do something. Not, of course, earlier we have to wait for 3 to 4 months in order to get release. Now within 10 days, 15 days, we are getting some release. Some release, not all features. Okay, we'll see step by step now. So now in the first step, so here the step is called sprint, right? So earlier we called step as phase. Now we call it as a sprint one. Now what will happen in sprint one? So in sprint one, suppose totally a requirement is 20 features. In the first step called sprint one, we have to take only suppose 5 features. How can you take those 5 features? Means based on the priorities and importance. So definitely there is some importance, right? Of course, if you want to do some, of course, today, I want to do something, 5 things. Definitely importance, right? So first of all, this is very important. So first of all, let me complete it. Later I will do it. Like that, I will schedule, right? In the same manner. We have to identify top 5 features based on priority. I have to identify. Okay. For those 5 features, I will gather requirements. Same thing only. I will gather requirements. I means not only me, already same people only, like technical architects. They will gather the requirements for only those 5 modules, 5 important modules or 5 important features. Then they will prepare a high-level design document. They will prepare a high-level design document. Once design document is over, they will write coding for this one. Once if coding is done for those 5 modules only, then testers, they will test it. Once if testing is success, now they will do deployment. Now, of course, sprint means already like 10 days, 15 days. At least after 15 days or 10 days, customers are able to access 5 features, right? At least 5 features they are able to. So once if you deploy in the first sprint, at least out of 20 features, customers are able to access 5 features. Of course, already those 5 features are very important according to priority only. I have worked on them. That's it. Now after sprint one, within 10 to 15 days only, the customers are able to access the application with those 5 features. Of course, if you see in the sprint one, everybody is working, right? Not only technical leads, not only developers, not only testers, not only middleware guys. Everybody working on this one because in the sprint one itself, we have requirements, we have gathered requirements, we have created a IO document, we have implemented by writing the code, we have tested it, we have deployed. That means everybody is involving, right? So I can say resource utilization is very good. Okay. So once if it is completed, now we'll start with the second step called sprint 2. This is called second step called sprint 2. Sprint 2. Now in this what we will do, of course, out of 20, already 5 completed, right? 5 features. We have 15 more left. We have 15 more left. Now among 15, we have to identify 5 important parts. Of course, this 20 and 5 not fixed. For express purpose, I am taking them. Now 15 features left. Among those 15, I have to identify 5 important features. Only for those 5 features, we will gather requirements. We will gather requirements for those only 5 features. Only for those 5 features, we will design a high-level document. Only for those 5 features, we will write the code. Once it is completed, we will test those 5 modules only. Is they working according to our requirement or not? So once it is tested, once again we will deploy. Now, my step sprint 2 is over. Now I have 5 more features, right? Totally, how many features they can able to access? 5 more, totally 5. Totally in this phase, sorry, in this sprint, 5 features, right? Totally 10 features. Of course, after completion of 20 or 30 days, 5 plus 5, totally 10 features they are able to access customers, right? So now the next step called sprint 3. Sprint 3
Sorry
will
for the
start.
interrupt, Bhaskar.
Tell me. Yes.
Sorry for the interrupt. If you allow the Vinay, that guy,
Of course,
he's waiting,
I am not. No, no, no. I have not restricted anybody.
but he's asking, he's saying that just they allow that agent or something is like there.
No, no. Of course, I have not restricted anybody.
Okay.
Uh,
Vinay, can you join Vinay right now? వినయ్ నువ్వు జాయిన్ అవ్వచ్చు ఇప్పుడు.
లేదు అసలు ఫస్ట్ నుంచే నేను అసలు ఎవరిని ఇక్కడ నేను వాళ్ళేమి నేను నీకు
ఓకే.
నేను పంపించిన దాంట్లో టూ లింక్స్ ఉంటాయి ఇక్కడ.
అవునవును.
ఇప్పుడు ఈ పర్సన్ చూడు, నేను పంపించిన లింక్ ఇదే. ఈ లింక్ ఉంది కదా,
జస్ట్ క్లిక్ చేయడమే కదా.
చెప్తున్నా. ఫస్ట్ కొత్తగా మనకి గో టు బిట్ లేకపోతే ఇది తీసుకోవాలా, ఇది ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసుకోవాలి దీని ద్వారా.
నైట్ ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసాడు అతను.
చెప్తున్నా, అర్థమైందా? ఆ తర్వాత 6:30కి నేను పంపించిన ఇంట్లో ఈ ఫస్ట్ ఇది ఉంది కదా, వెంటనే అట్లే. నేను ఎవరు రిస్ట్రిక్ట్ చేయాల, నేను ఎవరు రిస్ట్రిక్ట్ ఏం చేయలేదు. ఇంట్లో రిస్ట్రిక్షన్ నేను ప్రొవైడ్ చేయాల.
ఓకే.
అందరికి అలవాటు పెట్టాను. ఈ పర్సన్ కూడా మళ్ళీ పెట్టిన నేను చూడలేదు, ఇప్పుడు చూస్తా ఉన్నా. క్లాస్ లింక్ షేర్ చేయండి సార్ అంటే నేను అతను నిన్న 7 షేర్ చేస్తుంటే ఇంకా చేయమంటే ఏం చెప్పాలి? ఇట్లుంటది. ఫస్ట్ చదవాలా, న్యూ మీటింగ్ మండే.
ఒక్క నిమిషం భాస్కర్, ఒక్క నిమిషము, అతను జాయిన్ అవుతాడు.
అందరికి ఇచ్చింది ఇదే, నేను ఎవరికి ఏమి రిస్ట్రిక్ట్ చేయాల, ఇదే ఇచ్చాను అంతే.
తమ్ముడు అది కాదు, నువ్వు క్లిక్ చేయాల్సింది.
ఇది క్లిక్ చేస్తే మళ్ళీ ఇన్స్టాల్, ఇది చూడడా.
నువ్వు ఇది లాస్ట్ ది క్లిక్ చేసినట్టున్నావు నువ్వు. లాస్ట్ కాదు, అక్కడ ఫస్ట్ లో ఒకటి లింక్ ఉంది చూడు, మీటింగ్ గో టు .com 4480033349. క్లిక్ ఆన్ దట్ ఫస్ట్. అనదర్ సీజన్ వస్తుంది ఇప్పుడు, ఆల్రెడీ రన్నింగ్ లో ఉన్నావు, అట్లా రాదే.
ఈ సెషన్ అది మళ్ళీ ఉంది. ఓకే, నేనైతే రిస్ట్రిక్ట్ చేయలేదు.
నువ్వు ఆర్గనైజర్ గా తీసుకోండి.
Okay, we'll continue. So, of course, I have not restricted anybody. Anybody can join whatever the link I have shared with that one. I have shared like this only, you people, right? If you are new to GoToMeeting, you have to install this GoToMeeting by using this URL. This is the URL to join the session. That's it. I have not tested anybody. Okay. Okay. We'll see. So we'll continue now. Of course, we are discussing about agile methodology now. According to agile methodology, instead of taking all 20 features at a time, we will divide them into. And of course, this is not standard. I am saying something. Dividing into four sprints. Now, in the sprint one, step one, sprint one, I have taken first five. First five means not according to serial number. I have not taken. According to priority and importance, I have taken them. So for those 5 features, I have gathered requirements. I have designed a high-level document. We have written the code. We have tested them. We have deployed. After sprint one, customers or end users can able to access those 5 features at least. Now, in the second sprint, in the second step called second sprint 2, we have taken 5 more features. So total out of 20, already 5 done, 15 more left, right? Among those 15, we have taken 5 prioritized modules. For those 5 prioritized modules of features, same thing. We have our requirements. We have designed a high-level document. We have written the code. We have tested them. Once if it is completed, we have deployed. Now, after sprint to 5 plus 5, totally 10 features the customers can able to access. Okay. Same thing will follow. Of course, in the sprint 3, what we will do same. Out of 20, 10 completed, right? 10 features completed. 10 more left. Among those 10 also we will pick 5 important features. For those 5 features, we will gather requirements. We will design a high-level document. We will write the code for those 5 modules. Later, we will test. Once testing is success, we will deploy. Now we are deploying 5 more modules, right? Now we are deploying 5 more modules in this sprint also. 5 modules or 5 features. Now, after completion of sprint 3, 5, totally 15 features. Customers can able to access. That's it. Of course, out of 20, 15 are completed. Now, in the next step called sprint 4, I can say. This is called sprint 4. In sprint 4, same thing. 5 more left, right? So, for those 5 features, we will gather requirements. We will design a high-level document. We will write code for those 5 modules. We will test it. Once testing is success, we will deploy it. Now, we are deploying 5 more features in this sprint also. So now, after completion of the sprint 4, customers or end users can able to access 5, 5, 5, 5. Totally 20 features. That's it. This is what we will follow in case of agile methodology according to Scrum model. Scrum. Of course, earlier I have shared 2 drawbacks on the waterfall model. Like resource is very poor. That problem can be overcome here, right? Why? Because in the sprint 1, everybody is involving here. In sprint 2, of course, in each and every step, everybody is involving, right? That means we are properly utilizing the employees of the organization. Now you can see deployment frequency. You can see for each and sprint 1, deployment, sprint 2, deployment, sprint 3, deployment. Likewise, if you have any sprints, for each and sprint we have a deployment, right? That means deployment frequency has increased. Okay, there is also, of course, I can say I have opened the door, but it leads to one drawback here. What is drawback? So as of now, we have to use manually only. Manually, we have deploy. So those middleware admins people, they have to manually deploy. It will take some time to manually deploy. Of course, if you want to do anything manually, there we may face some issues also. So how to resolve them manually? That is one of the drawback in this agile methodology. Everything we are doing manually. Of course, deployment is manually doing. We are doing manual deployment. So manual deployment leads to some problems, errors. Then how to solve the problem? So for that purpose, our idea is to automate the deployment. So how to automate the deployment process? With that idea only, DevOps came into picture. So as of now, I am saying for deployment automation purpose only, DevOps will be used. Of course, later I will use some other things. Okay. Now my idea is I want to automate this one. I want to automate how to automate this one. For that purpose, we have to use a method or process called DevOps. Okay. Now we will see about DevOps now. DevOps, DEV.
Bhaskar, sorry for interrupt. Bhaskar, can you recap once again some agile methodology, కొంచెం fast?
Okay. Okay. So already you have idea about waterfall model. So in waterfall model, we have to implement all features at a time. We have to take everything at a time. That means we have the requirements for all features at a time. We have to design a high-level document for all at a time. We have to write code for all at a time. We have to test them all at a time. We have to deploy at a time. In case of waterfall model, I'm saying. So that means deployment happens only once. At the same time, employees involvement also not properly in case of waterfall model. In order to overcome those problems, we will use what other methodology. According to other methodology, we are not supposed to take all features at a time. If you have 20 or 100 number of features, also whatever, we have to identify importance for them based on the priorities. We have to identify them. Of course, let us take 20 only as of now. Among 20 features, we will pick only 5 important features. 5 important. In the first step called sprint 1. For those 5 features only, we will gather the requirements. Only for those 5, I will create a design document, high-level design document. Only for those 5 modules, we will write coding. Only for those 5 modules, we will test it. Only those 5 modules can be deployed also. That means here, you can see for requirement gathering, we require people like architects and technical leaders, right? If you want to write coding, developers also involving, right? So for testing purpose, testing team also involving. For deployment purpose, that the middleware guys also involving. That means we are properly utilizing all the employees. That means the involvement of everybody is there in the sprint 1, right? Likewise, we will complete all the features in different. Of course, not at a time. During sprint 1, completed 5 features. In the sprint 2, completed 5 more. Sprint 3, 5 more. Sprint 4, 5. So now totally 20 are completed. That is what we will do. Every time, that means for each and every sprint we have a deployment. That means deployment frequency is increased, right? If you have 20 sprints, I can say. Normally we can have, we don't have. Let us say if you have 20 sprints, definitely 20 times you have to deploy. If you have 10 sprints, 10 times you have to deploy, right? So deployment frequency has increased. So other methodology follows manual deployment only. Manual means some person has to sit in front of the system. So that person has to do all the requirements, in order to deploy the application into real time so that customers or vendors can able to access the application. Definitely, if you are doing anything manually, there may arise some issues. So our idea is to automate this one. How to automate? With that concept only, we'll use DevOps. Now, DevOps, DEOPS. Of course, actually, this DevOps is a combination of two terms actually. Dev means development team, not developers, development team. Development team. OPS means like operations team. Operations team. So I can say this DevOps is a combination of two teams, like a development team and a operations team. So first of all, we'll see what is in development team, who comes under operations team. We'll see. So of course, like developers comes under development team. Testers also comes under development team. I'm not saying about developers. Developers, testers, something like architects, okay, something like system analysts, business analysts, all of them comes under development team only. Then who comes under operations team? Those who are directly involving or working with servers, they comes under operations team, like system admins, database admins, like server admins, like deployment people, maintenance people. There are some monitoring team. They are all comes under ops team, operations team. Okay, that means DevOps combination of DevOps team as well as development team as well as operations team. Now why do this DevOps? So as of now, what I said, for automating the deployment process. So now let me define what is DevOps. So of course, this DevOps is a combination of development team and operations team, right? Is it a tool? No, DevOps is not a tool. It is a methodology or process. DevOps is a methodology or process in which two teams, like development team and operations team, collaboratively work together. They work together according to DevOps methodology. Development people and operations, of course, development team and operations team, those two teams have to collaboratively work together. Why to collaborate work together? To release the quality product, to release the quality product, and that within a short span of time. Definitely, everybody expect that one only. I need a quality product, and that too, I want to develop within a short span of time, right? That is what everybody is looking for. That can be done by DevOps methodology. I can release a good quality product within a short span of time by DevOps methodology. How means? I am collaborating with both development team and operations team. I will tell you one more scenario also. Something like there is some, let us say these are people from development team, not developers. So developers and testers, they comes under, of course, there's some build people also, build team will be there. They also comes under development team only. Okay. Now there is a development team here. There is a development team here. Development team, what they will do? They will gather requirements. Now, of course, development team, they will gather requirements. They will design a high-level document. They will write code for them. They will test it. They will build it. Everything they will do. Once it is tested only, they will hand out the project to the ops team, operations team, right? Why? Because the development team, they are not going to involve with servers. Okay, they have tested it, everything is working fine. Now they will hand out the project to the operations team. Now operations team, they will deploy. So of course, if something happens problem with the deployment, then what they will think? Of course, I have deployed correctly. So whatever the code developed by development team, that is not correct. Of course, they may not have tested also. That is what they will think. Why? Because there is no communication between development team and the operations team before DevOps method. Before DevOps method, definitely there could not be any communication channel between development team and operations team. They will work separately. Okay. If you found any problem, then what they will think? I have done correctly. So some development team, they have done errors. So they have done some mistakes. So of course, quality team also unable to find those mistakes. That's why I am unable to deploy. That is what they will think. Of course, now they will send a message to development team. Hey guys, what is the code you have created? That is not working fine. So the entire mistake is from your end only. Then what these people will do? We have done everything correctly only. So of course, you people only don't know how to deploy them. The mistake is from your end only. That's why. So there will be there is a quarrel in between those two teams. In order to resolve that problem also, we can DevOps, I can say, not only for deployment automation. In order to resolve the issue in between these two teams also, we can DevOps, I can say. Okay. So now finally, DevOps is not a single tool. It is a process or methodology in which development team and operations team are going to collaboratively work together to release the product within a short span of time, and that to quality product. Now this is called actually DevOps life cycle. We have to follow one life cycle in order to fulfill this requirement. In this, so if you want to do something, I have to follow one tool. If you want to do some other thing, I have to follow some other tool. So that's why a set of tools are required, I can say, in order to fulfill the entire DevOps process. Now I want to explain what are the set of tools we require in the entire DevOps process. Okay, for that purpose, let us assume they are developers. Of course, I cannot take more. For simplicity, I have taken 3 developers. Now, as of course, in our entire course, we will concentrate on Java projects only. So that means they are Java developers, assume. These 3 people are Java developers. So they will write code, right? Developers means they will write Java code. They will write some Java files, whatever they will write. So once, of course, one person, this is one more guy. They will write code in their local laptop, right? Definitely, in IT industry, you will get a separate laptop or separate desktop, whatever. You will given a dedicated system, like laptop or desktop, whatever. Of course, laptop, I can say. Now, you write code in your local laptop. Of course, whatever the code you have written, other people don't know, right? Why? Because that code is with you only, in your laptop only. Of course, normally, whatever the code you have written, you are not supposed to keep it with you only. You have to place the code in a common place. Whatever the code developers will write, after completion of that file or code, they have to maintain that code in a common place where you have to maintain. That is now in order to store the source code, in order to store the source code, right? What are the code they are developing? That is called source code only. Okay, in order to store the source code, we have to use a common place. That common place is called actually repository. So SCM tools. SCM means source code management. Source code management tools will be there. So in the market, we are having some tools like GitHub. GitHub is one of the SCM tools. Not only GitHub, something like GitLab, something like Bitbucket, something like TFS, something like SVN. They are all examples of SCM tools. So definitely in IT industry, whatever the code they have developed, they will maintain the code in a common place. That is called remote repository. Remote repository. If you have 20 developers, they will develop the code. Whatever developed by them, they will maintain in one place called remote repository. For that purpose, we have to use SCM tools. SCM tools like GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, CVS, TFS, whatever. Now the entire code is there here. The entire code is there in the repository. Is there any use? No. Of course, not only this one. Of course, assume you are manufacturing one product like whatever, like as I said, like a ceiling fan. You have manufactured, of course, we have manufactured like 1,000 number of fans. If you maintain all 1,000 fans with you only, no use, right? I have to sell them. That's called marketing. Then only get profits, right? The same fashion also, if you write code, definitely no will get any profit. When they will get profit, if you deploy them, if customers are going to use it, then only we will get some profits. We'll get a business. Here also same thing, right? Here also same thing. Now I have done some project. I am maintaining GitHub. I am maintaining GitLab, whatever. Definitely there is no use for me. I have to deploy it. Deploy means releasing into market. Deploy means releasing market. So now I want to deploy this one. I want to deploy this one so that I can have a business, I can have some profits. How to deploy? Here the one more problem is there. Directly source code cannot be deployable. Directly source code cannot be deployed. Java files or what are the language? Directly those files cannot be deployed. Those files cannot be released straight away. Then what to do? I have to create a package. From source code, I have to create a package. Why? Because if you have a package, I can deploy the package. Source code cannot be directly deployable. So now my requirement is I want to create a package. How to create a package? We have to use a variety of tools. Some source code like Java, I want to create a package now. How to create a package means I have to use a variety of tool called build tool. I have to use a tool called build tool. If you use build tool, I can create a package for the source code. Now, from the source code, I will create a package now by using build tool. Of course, in IT industry, in market, we can have something like Yarn, Maven, Gradle. Like that, we can have variety. Of course, if you use any of these tools, you can able to create a package. Here, of course, Java files means .java files, right? So now, if you create a build package, I can get something like .var files or .jar files or like .er files. Now these files can directly deploy. Now I have a package. Then how to deploy? If you have package, how to deploy? So in order to deploy, I have to use a tool called application servers. Now I have to take help from application servers. So application servers examples are like Tomcat, something like JBoss, something like WebSphere, something like WebLogic. There are examples of application servers. So by using this Tomcat like application servers, we can deploy packages. We can deploy packages now. Now once you deploy means releasing into market, I can say. Releasing into market. Now definitely customers can able to access the application. So we can have some business, that's it. That's it. This is called deployment or releasing into market. Of course, if you see here, directly the source code, by the source code I have created a package, without checking any source code quality, I have deployed into Tomcat or whatever the server. Customers are able to access the application, no problem. But I have not checked source code quality, right? Whatever the developers kept in the SCM tool like GitHub, directly I have taken it, I have created a package and I have deployed. That is not good, right? I have checked the source code quality because, of course, in developers there are some people like freshers or whatever. They may not have that much knowledge on how to write code. They will write, but they may not write. They may not follow some standards. Then how to do? So for that purpose, before deploying, we have to check the source code quality in order to improve the performance. So now, how to check the source code quality? How to check source code quality? I can check source code quality. So for that purpose, I have to use a tool called like Sonar Cube, or something like Parasoft. There are some tools, so like I can say Parasoft, or something like RE Shift. Like we have some tools. Of course, they are called static code analyzer tools. They are called static code analyzer tools. Static code analyzer tools. Why they are being used to check source code quality? First of all, before deploying, definitely we have to check the source code quality. If it is up to the mark, then only we can deploy into the real time. We'll release. Otherwise, we won't release, right? Whatever the product we have developed, definitely we have to check the source code quality. If it is not up to the mark, we'll get some remarks, right, in the market. So for that purpose, how to use static code analyzer tool to check the source code quality. Now, I will check the source code quality. If it is okay, then only I can deploy. At the same time, there is one more problem also here. One problem is I have created package. Directly I am deploying. So of course, source code is there here. Package is created and deployed. I am not storing these packages. So definitely for future purpose, I have to store the package. So by this build tools, I can only generate package. I am not storing anything. I have stored somewhere else, right? Where to store? In order to store packages, I have to use a kind of tool. So that those tools are called Artifactory repository tools. Artifactory repository tools. Artifactory repository tools. Of course, artifact means package only. They are called package storing tools, I can say. So in the IT market, they have something like Nexus, something like JFrog. Like there are some tools. If you can use any of these tools to store the package. Now I can see what will happen. Now we will see what will happen. Developers will write the code. They will push, of course, they will push the code into the remote repository called GitHub, which is source code repository. Now source code is there here. I will use Maven like build tools to create a package. So once you have a package, directly I am not going to deploy. First of all, I will check the source code quality. If it is up to the mark, directly I don't want to deploy. I will store the package in a Nexus like Artifactory repository. Of course, this is also repository. In this SCM tools, I can store the source code only. But in this Artifactory tools, I can store the packages. To store packages, I can use this repository. To store source code, I can use this repository. Okay. Both of them are remote repositories only. By using SCM tools like GitHub, I can store source code. By using artifact repository tools like Nexus, I can store packages. That's it. Okay. I will store here, then I will deploy. So as of now, it is also manual only. It is also manual. According to DevOps, what you have to do, how to automate it, right? Then how to automate this process? How to automate? So in order to automate this one, definitely I have to use an important tool called CI/CD tool. An important was CI/CD tool. This is a tool called CI/CD tool, like I said, CI/CD. CI/CD. Here CI means continuous integration. CD means continuous deployment. So of course, in the industry, in the IT market, we're having a tool called Jenkins. Something like Bamboo. There are some variety of tools. This is called CI/CD tool. First of all, I have to integrate, of course, earlier, I am contracting each and tool separately. Now what I will do means, I will integrate all tools to Jenkins only. I can say my Jenkins is very important here. So I will integrate everything to Jenkins only. I will integrate everything to Jenkins. Of course. This is called CI/CD tool. I will integrate, of course, that's why CI. CI means continuous integration, right? Continuous integration. I have to integrate all tools to Jenkins. Of course, how to integrate, we will see those things individually. We're discussing about separately. We're discussing about Jenkins. So as of now, just I will give you some idea. So in this, I have to write one job. I have to write one job. With this job, I can integrate all of them. So that now, no need to go this one separately. I will go to this Jenkins only. From Jenkins, I can operate everything. That is called automation, right? I don't want to go separately to all the tools separately. Of course, in this one also, I am not supposed to go here. Initially, I will go here and I will write one job there. Job is like something like a program, I can say. Of course, we are not going to write, that is different. We will see those things later. Okay, we will write one job here. We will create one job here. That job will automate everything. Automation means here, what is the meaning of automation here? Whenever developer push the code into GitHub, automatically, so very important, automatically it has to create a package. Automatically it will check the source code quality. Automatically it will store the package in a nexus like repositories. Automatically deploy into Tomcat application servers. Automatically everything is happening, right? That's called automation. Of course, as of now, we are deploying application into only in single server. Of course, now assume there is a problem with this one. What will happen? Whatever we have done so far, entire will be crashed. Why? Because I have deployed application into this server. The application itself is crashed. Sorry, the server itself is crashed. So definitely customers cannot able to access the application. Why? Because I have only one single server deployment. I don't have any other servers. So customers will face issue. Of course, what to do? So for the purpose only, in real time, we will not deploy any application in a single server. We will try to deploy into multiple servers at a time. So that if there is a problem with one server, definitely for backup, I can have some others. So that there could not be any problem. Okay. Now I am not satisfying with this one. Why? Because as of now, I am deploying a single server only. If this is deleted or crashed, the entire project cannot be accessed. Application cannot access be. Okay, vendors are facing issues. Now, how to solve this problem? For this purpose, we will try to deploy application to multiple servers at a time, not only to single server. That we will see now. Not only single server, let me take multiple servers. This is one server. This is one more server. Likewise, I will deploy to multiple. Of course, as of now, I am taking 3 only. In real time, like 5 or 10, whatever. So as of now, I am taking only 3 servers. Now, what we will do? We will deploy application to these 3 servers in all servers. That means not only single Tomcat, I will have multiple same replicas. I can say this is same, this is same, this is also same. Now my application is running in 3 different servers, right? Of course, if the problem with this one, still I can have 2 more, right? If the problem with this one, I can have 2 more, right? If the problem with this one, still we have 2 more, right? That means I have some backups at least. That's what I'm trying to say here. So I can say that now my application is high available. Definitely always available, right? Whatever the application you have deployed, always is available. Of course, let us say something like flipkart.com. I will access flipkart.com. If it is working only, I will order some products like Amazon, whatever. If it is not applicable, then what I will do, I will go to some other, right? Now today, it is very important for me to purchase one, like I can say like I want to purchase a mobile phone now. Immediately I want. But of course, I want to order through online only. Then how I will go to Flipkart? If it won't work, definitely I will go to some other like Amazon or Paytm, whatever. I will go there, right? I will go for alternatives. Same thing, right? In the market, there is a competition, right? So if our application is down, I will lose my business. That means my application is always available. How? How means we have to deploy application into multiple servers, not into single server. If you want to deploy into single server, Tomcat will help us. If you want to deploy into multiple servers at a time, definitely Tomcat won't help us. Tomcat won't help now. Now how to deploy into multiple servers at a time? Now this is no use for me. In this case, it is not going to use for me. Then which tool we have to use here? For the purpose, we have to use a variety of tool called the deployment tool, right? Deployment tool. Deployment or configuration tool it is. So the tool name is like Ansible or Puppet or Chuff, whatever. The tool name is Chuff. Some other tool called Puppet. Some other tool called Ansible. By using any of these tools, I can deploy to multiple, of course, application, right? Application running, right? I can deploy the application into this one, and in this one also by the same deployment tool. Now, what is the application running here? I have deployed into 3 missions at least. Deployed 3 missions at a time. By using Ansible like deployment tools, I can do it. Now, whatever the application I have developed, I have deployed into 3 servers. Now, at least I can see some guarantee, right? So, because if one is go down, I can have 2 others. If 2 down, at least I can have 1. Of course, if you assume 3 will down means definitely you have to deploy into 4. Okay, that's why I'm taking only simple. Okay, anyhow, now my application is running in 3 servers. Then who will going to monitor? Of course, now who will going to sit in front of system? System is working or not fine? Who will see? Manually, nobody is going to sit there to monitor whether working or not. Nobody is going to do like that. Our aim is automation only. I have to do everything on an automated manner. No, there could not be any manual intervention. Then how to see this system is working or not? This system is working or not? This system is working or not? Whether customers are able to access application through these servers or not? Who is going to see? Manually, nobody is going to see. So for that purpose, we have to use a tool called monitoring tools. We have to use monitoring tools. Monitoring. Simply writing MT tools. Monitoring tools will be there. So first of all, I have to configure all of them. I have to configure all of them within this monitoring tool. Of course, in order to perform monitoring, we can have something like Neuralink, something like App Dynamics, App Dynamics, Prometheus, Grafana. Likewise, there are so many variety of tools. If you use any of them, I can able to monitor. Monitor means, of course, instead of going separately into all these 3 servers, I can get the status of them, whether they are working fine or not in this monitoring tool only. I can see whether they are running or not. All of them are running or not in this Neuralink or App Dynamics monitoring tool only. I can know status of them, whether they are working fine or not. Of course, definitely in some cases there is some problem with them, like memory overload or CPU utilization is almost reached to its maximum capacity. I get some problems. Then who will take care of those problems? Of course, I am not going to sit in front of system. So definitely in IT, there is a team called supporting team, right? So the supporting team, they have to work for 24/7 definitely. Of course, as a developer or tester or DevOps engineer, we are not going to work 24/7, right? We will work in some like 8 hours shift, 8 hours normally. But this 24/7 supporting team will be there, supporting team. Like supporting ST team, supporting team. Definitely, they work 24/7. They are responsible for monitoring. They will see, are they getting any alerts or not in this room? They will see, are there any alerts in this monitoring tool or not? Are there any problems with servers? They used to monitor from here manually. They will monitor actually. Supporting team, they are supporting team. Of course, once if they found any issue, what they will do? They are supporting team. They don't know how to resolve them. They don't know. Just they will see what are the issues, but they don't know how to resolve them, right? Because they're supporting team. Then what they will do? They found some issue, but they don't know how to resolve them. Then what to do? So definitely they have to create a ticket. They have to create a ticket. Ticket means your like incident, incident. They will create some ticket here. How to create ticket? So the supporting team, they will some ticketing tool. I can select TT tool. Okay, ticketing tool. They will use some ticketing tools to create ticket. Ticket means like who has to resolve that one. Of course, some problem is there. Definitely, somebody has to resolve it, right? Who has to resolve? They will assign a ticket. Of course, I can say here two types of problems I can get. Like if it is a infrastructure related issue, they will send this ticket. They will assign ticket to the DevOps team only. DevOps team only. Of course, in some times the ticket can be assigned to the developers only. When if it is a application related issue, then definitely they will raise the ticket to the development team. So development team will get some notification. So they of course they will think, of course, due to some code issues only they are getting errors. So they have to work on them. In some time there is some problem with some infrastructure, means some servers. So as DevOps, we have to take care of it. So I can say those errors like infrastructure issues. If it is a infrastructure issue, definitely it is our responsibility. Servers are not working them, we have to look onto them. That's it. This is the entire automation process. Nobody is going to involve in this one. Manually, nobody is going to involve. Yeah. Everything automated. Developers will write the code. Through Jenkins job, I can do automate everything. Whenever developers push the code into GitHub, I have to create a package automatically. I have to save the source code automatically. We will store the package automatically. We will deploy into multiple servers automatically. So I have configured. So in the monitoring tools, we'll get some alerts. Of course, these people will see the alerts. If it is required, they will create the ticket. Of course, for ticketing purpose, they can use something like tools like Jira, something like ServiceNow, something like Rally. They will use some other tools. Those supporting people, I can say, they will create tickets. They will assign tickets to the corresponding. Corresponding means they will create a ticket assigned to either development team or DevOps team. If it is the problem related to application issue, then they will contact developers. Then developers, what they will do? They will recode, right? definitely they will update the code. Once it's updating, what they will do? They will push the code into GitHub. Same thing will repeat. It is a iteration process, I can say. The DevOps process is a iteration process. Iteration means it will repeat. Same thing it will repeat. Developers will write the code. They will push the code. Same thing will happen. That's it. This is called DevOps lifecycle, I can say. Of course, you after seeing this one, you may get some confusion. Is it required to learn all those tools? Definitely, you have to learn at least one tool in each and every process. But you may not get opportunity to work on all of them in real time. That is different. Okay. Of course, here, if you have any idea about DevOps, here I have not discussed two important tools. What are those two tools? Means like Docker and Jenkins. So if you have any idea about DevOps, definitely these two are very Docker and Kubernetes. Sorry, Kubernetes. These two are also very important, but I have not covered or I have not used those two tools in the entire process. Why? That means they are not compulsory. Of course, in IT, they can follow either, I can say like monolithic architecture for software product development purpose. If they use monolithic architecture, definitely no need of Docker Kubernetes. But if they follow an architecture called microservice architecture, if they are using this one, definitely it requires to use Docker Kubernetes. So why Docker and why Kubernetes? Of course, as of now, we are taking separate servers. They don't want to take separate servers. They want to take only single server. Within the server, they want to deploy application into some like container farms. We'll discuss those things in detail about those things in Docker. That's different. As of now, I am telling why Docker is being used. So normally this is one server. This is one server like a computer or water machine. On top of this one, they will create a lightweight process. They are called containers. How to create containers means I have to use Docker. Within a single server, I want to create multiple containers. Containers are very lightweight processes. How to create them means definitely we require Docker to create containers. Of course, if you have 20 or 30 containers, who is going to monitor them? Nobody is going to manually monitor, right? Who will monitor? Who will go to manage? If you want to manage them, we require Kubernetes also. That's it. For container creation purpose, we have to use Docker. For container managing or orchestration purpose, we have to use Docker tool. That's it. In that case, we require these two tools. Okay. So this is the entire DevOps process. So then I want to install Maven tool, or I want to install Jenkins tool, or I want to install Ansible, I want to install Tomcat, or I want to install SonarQube, or I want to install J for Nexus. Where I have to install? Of course, in real time, almost 90% servers are Linux machines only. Almost all the servers are Linux servers only they will use. Then do you have Linux server? Always go right. Of course, I am using my Windows laptop. Of course, most of the people are using Windows laptops only. Somebody may use something like MacBooks, like Apple, iOS. They will use those things only. Nobody is going to use Linux servers, Linux laptops. As of now, I'm saying. Of course, very rare people will be using that is different. Then where to? Of course, if you have on laptop also, I cannot install all tools in the same laptop, right? If you install all tools in same laptop, definitely your laptop will crash. It will malfunction definitely. Then how to do? So definitely I will take help from AWS cloud. I have taken some virtual machines in the AWS cloud. So there is a cloud called AWS, Amazon Web Service. So I will take help from them. They will give some servers for us. Of course, some servers are free. From servers we have to pay something. That's different. We will see those things later. So definitely I have to get servers, virtual servers from AWS cloud. Okay, I will take one Linux machine in the AWS cloud. For free one I will take. There are some, they will give some specific kind of servers for free. I will take only them for doing some other tasks. I want to install Maven. What I will do, I will take one virtual Linux machine in AWS cloud. I will install Maven and I will work on it. Same thing we'll do for other machines also. So for that purpose, we have to know one of the cloud like AWS or Azure, whatever. So in our course, we'll see about AWS one. Okay. So now, of course, the Linux servers, right? How to operate them? If you give an Windows machine, I want to create one folder. How to create folder means I will right click here and I will create one folder. I want to create one file. I will create file here. So I want to go to C drive. I will go like this. Instead, I want to go to this one. I will go like this. Then how to move in, how to go in the Linux server from one place to one place. For that purpose, definitely we have to learn some Linux commands. Okay. So for that purpose, in our course, definitely in order to operate Linux servers, we need to have command and some Linux commands. Otherwise, we cannot operate, right? Why? Because this Windows is a GUI. Windows support GUI means graphical user interface. So, but Linux does not support GUI. So, through commands only, I can interact with the Linux servers. So, for that purpose, in our course, we'll discuss about Linux commands. Why? Because I have to operate Linux servers, right? So, Linux commands we have to learn. Later, of course, in order to do some automation, it requires some knowledge on shell scripting also. Shell scripting. So we'll discuss about shell scripting also in our course. Then we will start with the actual DevOps tools. So of course, in order to maintain source code, SM tool, right? We will discuss about GitHub. We will discuss about Git and GitHub as the source code repository tool. So already you know this process, right? This one. We'll discuss GitHub in this one. I have to create package, right? So in order to create a package, we will discuss about a tool called Maven. So I want to check source code quality, right? To check the source code quality, in our course, we'll discuss a tool called SonarQube. SonarQube. I have stored packages, right? To store packages, we will discuss a tool called Nexus in our course. If you want to deploy a single server, I can use Tomcat as application server. Okay. If you want to deploy into multiple servers, we have to learn a tool called Ansible. Okay. Of course, I want to automate them, right? So definitely how to automate them. If you want to automate, we'll see like CS called Jenkins. We'll discuss these Jenkins. It's very important. Of course, who knows? In IT industry, they may of course, in whatever the company are going to get job, if they follow microservices, we have to create containers, right? How to create containers? We have to use Docker, right? We have to use Docker tool to create a container. That's why we'll discuss Docker also. Then how to manage the containers? If you have 20 or 30 containers, definitely manually you are not going to maintain, right? We'll automate. Everything will automated. How to automate? Automatically manage them means we have to learn Kubernetes also. Kubernetes. Simple Kubernetes, KTS. KTS is Kubernetes one. These three things we have to learn in the DevOps process. Of course, later we will discuss something about AWS. In AWS, of course, we are not AWS administrator developers. As a DevOps engineer, we will learn only some of the services. In AWS, we have around 200 services. Those are not required for us. As a DevOps engineer, we need to have knowledge on at least some important services. Those things only we will learn in this one. Okay, in our entire course, we will discuss about these two tools. So definitely, in order to cover all these, we require, I can say like 80 hours, around 80 hours. Okay, so daily our session is like 6 to 8. Of course, today as it is a demo session only, I have taken from something like 6:30 to 8, whatever. From tomorrow onwards, daily class will be from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. daily. 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. So it will take around 40 to 45 days to complete the entire course. We'll discuss all these things in those 40 to 45 days. So daily, you can see I'm recording session today, right? Daily, I will record the sessions, whatever we are discussing in the class. After completion of the class, so in our WhatsApp group, I have a WhatsApp group, right? In the WhatsApp group, I will share the record session. So of course, if you want, once again also you can go through them. So my suggestion is you try to download those recordings immediately. Don't wait for 10 days or 20 days. If you share today, you can download immediately and you can go through it. That's it. That's what my recommendation, because after some days the link may expire, the record session link. Okay, then after that you people don't ask me, because all I told you, it may expire within 7 days. So try to download those recordings immediately so that you can have them in your laptops or wherever. So for future purpose, if you want to go through one more time also, you can go, right? That's it. Okay, that's what I wanted to discuss for today. So from tomorrow onwards, we'll start our actual DevOps. This is only like a demo session only. Of course, we will see these things one by one. Okay, don't think that oh we have to learn all these things. Don't think like that. We will see one by one. We'll discuss one by one from basic. Of course, I will assume you people don't have knowledge on any of these things, and I will start from scratch. Okay, that's what I wanted to discuss for today. If you have